I don't know what kind of Google searches you've been on or what kind of YouTube videos you've been watching, but like vent sexing and wing sexing, really any kind of sex, I'm talking about like determining the sex of a bird, a male or female. In baby chicks, it's not reliable. These are not reliable things. These are certainly not techniques that a new chicken keeper, nonetheless, these are techniques that I don't even trust, that I wouldn't even do on my own birds. I don't know where this whole fad is coming from, where all of a sudden everybody wants to vent sex and wing sex a bird. Like literally, chicken breeders, we're getting messages from people who are like, this is my first time getting chicks, but can I please come to your farm and vent sex and wing sex your chicks? First of all, any reputable chicken breeder who I know is absolutely 100% of the time going to say no to that, because it's a biosecurity issue. It's a biosecurity issue to allow people anywhere near your birds to have their boots on the ground, on your soil around the birds. Nonetheless, have their like hands in your brooders like that. It's just not going to happen. And then again, the other thing is both vent sexing or wing sexing are not reliable. The chicks who you get sexed from hatcheries or like Tractor Supply, which are from hatcheries, the people who are sexing those chicks are very experienced. And even then, they get it wrong. Like, how many times have you bought chicks from Tractor Supply that are supposed to be pullets, which are female chickens under 1 year of age, and they grow out to be little roosters, right? It's because vent sexing and wing sexing is not reliable 100% of the time. It's not even worth it to attempt, in my humble opinion. If you want sexed birds, meaning you know whether they're males or females, there are a few ways to actually do this. The first is that there are several breeds who are what's called auto-sexing. These are going to be breeds like your cream lake barred or barred breeds like barred rocks, cuckoo morans. Those birds, at the point of hatch, their feathering, their patterning looks different, so you can visibly tell the difference between the males and the females at hatch. There are also sex-linked birds, which is different than auto-sexing because auto-sexing is a breed trait. So all cream lake bars are going to be auto-sexing. You can breed a cream lake bar to a cream lake bar, and their offspring are also going to be auto-sexing. Sex-linked doesn't work that way. Sex-linked is a trait that is passed down by the barred mother, so the cream lake bar mother with a solid father. But anyways, auto-sexing chicks also are discernible at hatch, the males from the females, but you couldn't breed those birds together and again recreate auto-sexing breeds. So that's two ways. The other way is to just wait a little bit of time to buy a little bit of older birds. If you can find them, they'll be a little bit more expensive too, because you have to keep in mind that when you're buying older birds, the breeder is taking care of them for longer. They're feeding them longer. They're using their electricity, their time, their resources. And so there's going to be a higher price on older birds. But there are some breeds like Wheaten Americanas, like Wheaten and silver birds in general, where as soon as those birds kind of start to feather out around 3 weeks, you can typically tell by the colors and the patterns in the feather, because the males and the females, their coloring is so drastically different. Usually you can begin to tell by how they are presenting. Otherwise, when you have breeds like black copper morans, for example, those breeds, you're going to have to wait until they're like 6 to 8 weeks old. By the time they're about 6 to 8 weeks old, primarily the biggest indicator, and listen, I have plenty of videos on actually like what to look for in the males and females at these ages, but saddle feathers. Saddle feathers, only males have saddle feathers, and they are feathers that come out. They're like these sharp pointy feathers on the backs of the males. Usually you'll start to see these feathers come in between like 8 to 10 weeks. And usually around that time in the males, you'll also, and now this is difficult in like your pea comb breeds like Americanas, but like in your straight comb breeds like Morans, you'll start to notice that the combs and wattles are bigger and more pronounced, usually really redder, around 6 to 7 weeks. The point is, there are signs, there are noticeable signs of your males and females, but this doesn't happen until like 6 to 10-ish weeks. You just gotta be patient. Or the final way is you could DNA test. There are DNA tests where you can take feathers and send them off to a company, and I think there might even be like some private breeders who are doing this now, and they will do testing to determine what the sex of those birds is for you and let you know. But again, this costs money. Anyways, this year's been a doozy, y'all. It's because it's been one of those years where there's like been a huge chicken surge, and it's like 2020 all over again, where like everybody wants chickens, and so there's a huge influx into the chicken keeping community, and there's just a couple little pockets of misinformation out there that we need to correct.